flight controllers, go for landing. Retro, go. I don't go. Guidance, go. Control, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for landing. Altitude 42, go.
Hey up, McGogan lives. Poor Ader Kerman. Last episode he plunged headlong into the watery abyss below. Now he's washed up on an island completely unknown to the Kerbals. Doesn't know when he's going to get rescued. He's just completely by himself. And if that wasn't enough, there's an eclipse. I mean, talk about your bad omens. So, for the time being, he's nothing to do but stare out at the horizon, scanning the ocean there for any ships that might be coming his way, looking for him, or looking for the wreckage of his plane. And he's just stuck there with his thoughts, wondering what's going on in the mainland. Now, while Ader may be stuck on a lonely island somewhere in the ocean, we do not have to wonder. We can look and observe what's going on the mainland. Namely, the magnificent Kerman brothers are taking a second shot at Guzardo's dream. This time their modified sky car is sporting this odd little object. This little machine here is capable of giving us the crew report that we need. And look at them roll out there. Superb sights for anyone to see. So last episode they tried to get data from Guzardo's dream, but turns out that these wee little seats here are incapable of providing you with a crew report situation. Therefore we were denied. Which was, I thought a little unfair, but oh well. But now we've brought this little lander can along. I suppose it's the first closed sort of cockpit ever used in an aeroplane on Kerbin there. It's not quite a cockpit, of course, it's just bolted on top of the sky car here. It's actually made it a little unwieldy, but I've got the skills to handle it. Look at that, just a lovely morning jaunt. I mean, I'm sure these two have been up hours, dancing along to their piano music as they eat steak and exercise manfully. So here we are, Guzardo's dream yet again. Now, if we just look at our contracts here we are. Conduct a focused observational survey of Kerbin. Near Guzardo's dream, I think we've fulfilled the criteria. Give it a shot here. There it is, crew report. Collecting survey data for Guzardo's dream. I can see my house from here, I think. There we go then. That's glorious. And this is Guzardo's dream. I don't know what's so special about it. I mean, I love checking. Oh, look at this. Oh god, that's it! Our contract's actually completed as well. We don't even have to bring it back. Oh, no problem. Alright, fellas. Job well done. Let's pack it in and go home. Look at that. Oh no. You ain't gonna flip out on me. Come on, Skycar, I think you're the most reliable of all the machines. There's so much to discover and learn just on Kerbin. You don't have to go out into space to find new stuff. Just look at these mountains and the strange sort of hilly terrain. Who knows what secrets lie there? Look at that lowland over there behind us, where it's sort of like a yellowy, like beach. Maybe it's erosion. Who knows? Alright, and now to land this thing. I mean, what could be difficult about that? I have faith in them at Kerbal Brothers. They've done this before. Alright. Just ease off the throttle there. I wonder if I could line this up with the runway. You may have noticed that I've improved the runway somewhat, which is good because the original runway that you start with is absolutely horrible. I mean, even from like a beginner's perspective, I mean, it's hard enough learning how to fly in this game, as is, getting all the parts right, making sure it's aerodynamically sound. You have to bloody make an uneven runway as well. This is bumpy as hell. You're better off going on grass. Anyway, here we go. Look at that, we're lined up perfectly here. Oh, we might be a bit... No. Oh, yes. Look at that. Oh. With just exemplary finesse. Yeah, let's just carefully brake this thing. By break, I mean, you know, reduce our speed, not break it. Fellas. Oh, look at them there. Oh, they know they've done a good job here. Oh, the ever-graceful Kerbling sky car. Look at that! Now, Ader may have bitten off more than he could chew, but I think the magnificent McKerman brothers have proved here today that the airplane is indeed a practicable scientific vessel, albeit one that wants to take off on its own. Right, let's shut this down and then, you know, get the data to those fellas in the lab. And, well, how does lunch sound? Sound good? I mean, I assume you're paying, of course, fellas. Not made of money. Now, if poor old Ader Kerman doesn't have enough on his plate already, it seems that things are about to get a lot worse for him. Turns out he has a rival. Another company has taken flight. The Artex company this time. And their star pilot is known as Richter von Kerman. Flying his Artex Meteor out of the base here, he's not really setting out to do any scientific experiments, he's just there to feel the thrill of the wind on his face as this mighty machine sends him soaring into the air. It's actually the fastest plane I've made so far. I don't know why, it might be the big engine or anything like that, but everything, it seems to fly a lot faster than every other plane that I've made so far. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the most stable, it doesn't have any SAS modules or anything, but I think Richter von Kerman has a natural sort of talent in commanding these strange metal vehicles. Take your helmet off there, feel the breeze, feel the joy of being, you know, of being out in the waves. And off he goes there, soaring down. Oh, well over 100 meters a second in a dive. It is a real fighter though, it really wants to dip downward. I have built a secondary Meteor, which uses it has a small Explorer probe core on its bottom, in which it can navigate a little easier using SAS modules. But Richter von Kerman, you know, he has the charisma to fly this machine. You don't need piloting skills in the early days of aviation, you just need, you know, charisma, elan. Be a knight of the air. Now, let's try and set this machine down. Look at it bucking like a horse. It's like it doesn't want Richter von Kerman on top. Ooh. Oh, bit of a lag there. I think that was the base rendering there. Let's see what I can do. Easily the fastest machine. It's not fuel efficient enough. I couldn't get any science done on it, but no. It's helped catapult good old Richter von Kerman into the public image. Very elegant man, you know, very suave. Alright, let's try and cut down this mighty engine. If Ader Kerman knew about Richter von Kerman and this, you know, this new aircraft, I'm sure he'd be quite annoyed. You know that he's stuck on that island, and instead of people worrying about him, they've just found somebody else. Perhaps that's sort of a testament to the life of a pilot. Everything is ephemeral with you, including your lifespan. Also goes for your reputation as well. Look at that. Wasn't even thinking, Richter von Kerman, he just put it down. It's like he was born to fly. Whoa. Propeller blades there, cutting into the ground. Let's keep it steady. There's a lot of money in this plane, Richter. I don't want you snapping the propeller blades. There we go. Sublime. You couldn't get more graceful. Alright, we've been faffing around long enough with aerial flights of fancy. At the end of the day, there's a Kerbal stranded out there, and we need to get him back. And I shall spare you the inane witterings of past me. He doesn't say anything constructive or even cohesive to actually what's going on in the game. He just gets all pious and starts rambling on about how he thinks the Ghostbusters film, the new Ghostbusters film, is some sort of marketing scam. Anyway, I'm going to just keep to the plot here. So this is Ross McKerman heading out on his Sky Oxen. Just one half of the magnificent McKerman brothers, because there's only 2 seats on the plane. Wouldn't be much good if we got over to the island where Ader was and there was nowhere to actually put him. But concerning Ader Kerman and the other pilots relationships with one another, I think there is a genuine concern when it comes to a missing pilot. I mean, they have their rivalries, of course, but when it comes down to someone being actually in trouble, of course they'll come and help. I mean, should Ross rescue Ader, Ader's never going to live it down. I mean, when he leaves the pub, I'm sure they'll all shout at him, don't get lost again. I don't think Richter von Kerman would really help out a friend in need because, he's a lone wolf. He looks down on other pilots as an inferior species. But no, this is, of course, Kerbling are not really doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. I think they're more concerned with trying to make a rival aircraft company look a little foolish, like their planes are inferior, and Kerbling's planes are superior to all. It's more like the Ghostbusters film, a marketing scheme. A very clever little tactic to try and boost sales. It's only the pilots that are really concerned. Because you see, you must remember that the planes that you're being shown in these episodes are only just a snippet of all the aircraft that are actually flying. I mean, the air is supposed to be filled with aircraft at this point. They're all over the place. Remember that Kerbin is actually quite an industrial place. So planes, obviously, have a big role to play in terms of logistics and transportation. But we're concentrating on a few pilots, the pioneering pilots. Well, I think we're getting close now. If you just look, you can see the little red dot there. That's it's not a dot, it's more like a square. That's the wreckage of Ader Kerman's aircraft, his doomed craft. I think he did all right though, considering the limitations of the plane. It was a daring move that didn't quite pay off. I'm sure Ross hasn't seen it yet, but as soon as he gets in close, you've just seen the island now. Before past me, cut away. I suppose he's wondering whether Ader's gone all Tom Hanks on that island all alone, talking to what's left of his aircraft fuselage. Can you imagine what it'd be like if I hadn't, sped this up? You'd have to listen to me drone on for like 20 minutes. Anyway, we're getting close now, so I think I'll cut back to past me. Oh, come on, Ader. Not Ader. Sorry. I'm getting flashbacks, Ross. Come along, Ross. Our fuel is looking great, considering that we were now worrying about our fuel supply by the time we got here last time. I think this was me. At this point, I was starting to go, ooh, look at my fuel gauge. It's looking a bit low. Here, on the other hand, we're like, look at that. Is that even a quarter down there? It isn't, is it? It's about a fifth. A fifth of the fuel. Oh, we should be able to get there and back, no problem. The trick to this mission will be trying to land near Ader so he doesn't have to walk very far. That's another thing about Kerbal Space Program. Not only is it a great game by itself, the absolute multitude of mods just allow massive amounts of creativity, where you can just put a few mods in and make a completely unique series. I mean, admittedly, I don't think my series is very unique. All I'm doing is making a more story-driven career mode. However, it seems to be working. I really do enjoy it. I look forward to making these videos. Well, I look forward to making all my videos, really. It's just, sometimes you've got to deal with mods that don't behave, or sometimes I can't make a video because there's a load of background noise, or I've got other things in real life to take care of. But I try and make time for Kerbin in Space. I imagine, from his vantage point, he may have seen a few little bits of metal bobbing on the ocean. Hey, let's see if we can fly right over Ader. I'm sure he's probably seen the Sky Oxen now, or at least heard the engine in the air, and he's on his mountain. Maybe he's, taking his shirt off, he's waving it round his head, going, ah, yes, all right, we see you. Shame he doesn't have any flares. There he is. Ader Kerman, the luckiest Kerbal on Kerbin. Wow, try saying that quickly, or when you're drunk. Oh wow, let's not chop him up into mincemeats. Oh yeah, definitely sees him now. Oh sorry, I can't do it in this camera. I see you, Ader, popping up and down like a man possessed. There he is. There he is. Oh look at this, we should put it down. Hang on. We'll make another pass. We'll swivel the plane round and come back onto this hillside. This is pretty flat land we can take care of here. All right, let's try and pull this thing around, but not too quickly. You don't want to stall it. I hope I've lined this up correctly. I probably haven't. Right, just make sure to cut the engine there. We don't have to get ridiculously close. Safety of the aircraft is our priority here, Ross. Let the little bugger walk if he has to. Oh crap, that was a bit tough. Alright, I think we're down. Good job, those wheels are pretty good. God, we're landing on the bloody slope of a hill. So just gently bleed the speed off. Don't ram it down, because otherwise you'll do a... I don't know what you'd call it. In bike terms, it would be an endo. Looks like there's no... There. That's what Ader should have done. Oh, handbrake. Well, the all-important handbrake. Right, keep that brake on. I'm just going to shut the engine down. Conserve the fuel. I mean, we've got fuel to spare, but, you know, there's no point ruining it. Alright, we're down. Alright then, Ross, you can look upon this island with, you know, eyes unhindered by flight. Mind you, you've probably seen enough of it. And by looks of your, by looks of it, you can only see the side of the fuselage of the plane there. I really like that mountain though. I don't know. This island fascinates me. Enough lollygagging. Let's do what we came here to do. Now it's time for the epic run. Off he goes. So here he is. I have no idea how Ader will respond to being rescued by a rival company in an aircraft that's bigger and heavier than anything that's ever been flown before. And of course, Ross McKerman there. I'm sure he was expecting someone from Winford, but well, to be honest, I think he's probably just happy being rescued. All right, there you go, Ader. You get yourself into the left-hand side of the plane here. Oh, that's nice. I know. First it was aircraft, and next it was ladders. I know, Kerbal technology, it has no boundaries. Right, it's a little bit fiddly getting onto the wing of this plane, but I've tested it before, and I can do it. Come on! Oh crap! He knocked his head against it, and oh well, there we are. He did it. That was weird. Well, at least it worked. He did climb onto the wing. It's just because I think physics was having a bit of a wobble there, literally. Right then, you mount the little seat there. Oh, there we go. There we go. You're just gonna have to give me a moment, audience. I'm just feeling a bit proud of myself, a bit prouder than usual, shall I say? Oh, an idiot like me has flown a magnificent aircraft to an uninhabited island to save a stranded pilot. Just oh. Now I don't know what it's going to be like launching from this hillside. I mean, it's hard enough launching from a nice flat runway. Heavens knows what it's going to be like launching from here, but I'm sure we can do it. We flew here, so we can fly back. That's how it works. Okay, this is it. We can do this, right? I'm confident. We can. We just got to think positive. All right. I'm gonna be slow here. I'm not gonna spool the engines up to full capacity. Activate the engine. Brakes off. I just wish it was a little easier to turn these airplanes. Turn it down a bit. We don't want to be flying ahead. Just very, very mild speed. The problem with these planes, it's not that they're difficult to fly, it's that they're difficult to maneuver on land. I'm turning left, but it's not doing it. I can do this. It's flat enough. We have got a bit of a bump. Maybe we can use that to shoot us into the air. Right, just keep it steady, Ross. Oh, please. No, you're not. You're not going to flip over on me. She wants to fly. I can feel it. Control's coming back. There, we're off. We're in the air. Yes! Alright, let's put this bucket in gear and get it home. Right. Oh. You know, it's I'm often reminded about how much of a genius I am. I mean, I boggle the mind. I mean, I hope, dear audience, that you are appreciative of knowing someone as sophisticated and as intelligent as myself. I mean, I'm just exceptional. I'm an exceptional person. If you're that exceptional, why did you crash in the first place? Well, let's just concentrate on going home, shall we? Anyway, I'll speed up the journey home because, to tell you the truth, nothing really happens. I don't talk very much. In fact, I think the most interesting thing I do during the duration of the flight home is blow my nose. So, it seems to be going very well. Seems to be we're on the cusp of success here. You know something? I'm almost glad Ader crashed. I know that sounds a little dark, and I certainly didn't mean for it to happen, but look what became of this accident. A great adventure across the ocean. You know, bonds being formed between former rivals. Playing with the sun there, trying to get that all-important, dramatic image of the aircraft in the sun. Being a pretentious twit. That's what I'm being. But I still think it's marvellous how this marriage between flesh and machine can create such wonderful, almost romantic stories. These knights of the air coming to one another's aid, even though they typically don't like each other very much. I suppose it's like a male thing. Pride. It's the downfall of us all, including our dear pilots. So, but you know, there's not really much to comment on. Plenty of fuel, just Ross, McKerman, Ader, a very relieved Ader, and the ocean. Oh, for those wondering about Ader Kerman and his group of scientists, they are still working on rockets. They're doing test launches, getting higher, faster. Thing is, I'm just not showing them. I mean, I am using rockets, to fulfill the little contracts and testing out the new parts, getting all that precious science, and of course the paper, the precious paper. We need the paper, man. But you don't want to see a load of unmanned rockets going up into the sky and either coming down on parachutes or blowing up. There's been quite a lot of success. There's been one or two failures, but I think at least at this point in the story of Kerbal in space, we want to be concentrating on the pilots. It's it's a bit like space in real life. The reason why nobody cares about it as much nowadays is because it's all unmanned. There's no romance to it anymore. There's no Carl Sagan or John Glenn's or Alan Shepard's or Yuri Gagarin's. Anyway, it looks like we're getting close to the airport, the runway. So I'll revert back to past me. Sunset. Time for Betty Bye soon. Oh, nice cup of hot chocolate, I think. Oh, that'd be nice. We'll start killing our speed. Closer than I thought there. Oh, now please, Ross, don't mess this up. Imagine coming all this way and all the way back and blowing up on the runway. Both of them dying. No, put the thought out of your head, McGoggenlives. It's not going to happen. You're far too clever for that, aren't you? Oh, it's time to put my money where my mouth is, I think. Or is it my mouth where my money is? Oh no, that's disgusting. You don't know where that money's been. Okay, that's it. Alright. Wow, I think we're actually losing too much speed. Oh god, no! Oh, thank heavens. Tell you what, these wheels, they might not be very manoeuvrable, but they are very tough. Ooh, tell you something, the Sky Oxen loses speed very quickly. And because it relies on forward velocity to keep in the air, well, obviously, but I mean a lot of forward velocity. As soon as it loses a little bit of it, it just drops out of the sky like a stone. Alright. I don't want to say anything. Because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to have to. I think this has been a success. We've brought Ader home with Ross. This magnificent vehicle. It has its flaws, yes, but it also has enough horsepower to get the job done. And got the job done, it did. This is glorious. I'm sure Kerbin can expect the Sky Oxen to just fly off the shelves or the catalogues. This has just been resounding. And I'm sure everyone's going to welcome Ader home. And Ross is going to be given maybe a few free drinks at the bar. But I don't know where the spirit of aviation is going to take us next, but it's going to be the next episode. I've been McGoggin Lives. Cheers for watching.
Can't remember any of the bloody controls.